Hi, welcome to Reddit Tea Time. My husband and I have been married for 3 months. He comes from a much more traditional background than I do. When we were dating, he swept me off my feet. We went out for dinners, lovely vacations, and he brought me numerous care packages. He works as an executive and makes good money. Last year, I started a baked goods side hustle. It brings me so much joy. I ended up becoming really busy, made more friends, and now I'm way more social. My husband has become angry that I cook and spend evenings with my girlfriends. It's maybe 1 to 2 nights a week, and I don't really see people much outside of that. He said I'm not a good wife and he feels used. When I said I was going to buy a car with my own money, he became even angrier. He refused to pay for groceries and said I need to contribute more money. So now with working, cooking lunch and dinner, it's become exhausting. How can I reason with my husband? I feel like I've grown a lot and he's not happy. And now for some comments before the update. He said I'm not a good wife and he feels used. I'd be interested in hearing him explaining in detail how you're not being a good wife. By spending time with people who aren't him, doing things that aren't for him. He sounds like a controlling jerk who love-bombed you until he knew he had you trapped. Do you have another job? How much of your joint income do you have access to? You say he refused to pay for groceries, which makes me worry about financial abuse. What you've done to this traditional man is threaten his masculinity. He envisioned you being at home while he brings in the money. You serve the traditional housewife role. You've since grown and have started your own side business and are starting to earn an income. You're starting to branch out and find different people you connect with, and you're able to be independent. If you want growth in a relationship, a traditional man is probably not going to be receptive to this. I honestly don't know if there's any reasoning with him because all of this seems very strange to be upset about. Now he's actively punishing you. I would suggest couples counseling if he's even up to it. Doubt he's willing to budge on anything. Good luck. And now for the update. I first posted a few months ago and wow, I wasn't expecting such an outpouring of support and comments from all of you. I read all of your comments and kept coming back to the page. I wanted to update earlier, but I needed to give myself time. Things have been really messy and hectic, and I had a hard time thinking anything through. I really tried to reason with my husband. I just couldn't get through to him. Any conversation would turn to him saying, "You say you love me, but your actions don't match," or the silent treatment, or him suddenly saying, "I'm not bringing in enough money," etc., etc. I spent so much time crying, curled into a ball, shaking from anxiety, that eventually I just became numb. I finally decided to take a break and move in with a friend of mine. It's been a month. It's hard and it sucks. My husband says that now he can safely date other people and that these other women are less demanding and treat him better. He keeps reminding me that I've put on a little weight and that he wants someone who is healthier. So for me, I've been focusing on work and spending time with my friends. I don't know what'll happen with my husband or if he'll ever come around. I know it's not exactly a perfect update, but this is where I am. Unfortunately, I don't have my baking supplies, but I'm hoping in the future I'll be more settled. Thanks again, Reddit. And now for some additional comments. OP, try to get an annulment of this marriage. This man was and never will be a good husband to you. You're his maid, nothing more. That's rough. Why did he even ask to marry you in the first place? It seems like he just pointlessly wasted your time. I hope you're going to end the marriage because he's safely dating other women now and you're still married. He clearly didn't care from the start. Good thing you don't have kids with this man. So he's dating other people? Unless you both agree to open your marriage, this is cheating, OP. Your husband is trying to criticize your appearance to put you down and say other women treat him better to make you insecure so you'll run back to him. You did a good job getting away from him though. I wouldn't bet on him ever changing. My advice is to look for a lawyer if you haven't already and keep doing what makes you happy, friends and baking. I'm so sorry this is happening to you, OP. My girlfriend has abandoned me 2 days after I've had a major surgery. We live together and I just had a full hip replacement surgery 2 days ago. She has an extreme addiction to smoking dabs. It's all day, every day from the moment she wakes up to when she goes to bed. Every hour blowing down multiple dabs unless she's sleeping. She needs to stop anyway because of an impending drug test in the next couple of months, but at this rate, she's gonna fail it anyway and she doesn't seem to care. Due to the fact that I'm 28 with a hip replacement, I'm kind of bedridden at the moment. I have to use a walker anytime I try to stand or use the bathroom. She just stormed out of the house and left me alone to fend for myself because I don't care about her pain from withdrawals. Her pain is at a 12. I'm having some trouble finding it in me to try to console her at this time, considering 2 days ago my leg was cut open and a large chunk of my femur bone was cut out of my body and replaced with metal and plastic. I've even tried texting someone who we usually get it from and who is usually reliable, but it's been the runaround of, "Oh, tomorrow," which has been the same response for the last 6 to 7 days now. But somehow I'm in the wrong for letting her go through this pain because she hasn't been able to smoke for the last 3 to 4 days. So here I am, alone in the house and barely able to sit up out of bed, on Reddit, wondering how I'm the bad guy for not caring enough about her drug addiction, and how I'm unable to make drugs magically appear at the front door. Has anyone dealt with a partner who has drug addiction issues and was able to overcome it? Has anyone gone through something similar or could offer advice on how to handle a drug-addicted partner? Edit. There are kids involved. My family has been watching them primarily for the last 2 to 3 days. She eventually came back after a few hours, argued in person, slammed doors throughout the house, and then went on a texting rampage about how I don't care or actually love her. Then deleted her Facebook and Instagram, and then proceeded to tell me to call with an emergency. She's been texting me like a lunatic all night. She always does. Those thumbs can go 200 miles per hour. But the second I text her and call her about an ice pack, she never got the text or missed calls because she had no service in that part of the house. At this point, I just feel like I'm ranting, but I'm not trying to. I've really given it my all with this relationship, especially because of the children involved. But at what point do I just give up? This feels like an appropriate time. Thoughts? Now for some comments. Do you have a friend or family member who can come help you? Post-surgery infection is a serious issue, and it's super important to have clean clothes and bedding. Can you call someone to come change your sheets? You might be able to hire help from TaskRabbit if nobody is able to help you. I'm so sorry you're going through this. She left you when you needed her the most, and that's messed up. Stay hydrated. I'm so confused how her pain would be at a 12 from not smoking dabs. Call your family and let them know your girlfriend left you. She's 23 with kids and she's run out not only on you, but the kids too. She's not fit to be a mother. If the kids are yours, call an attorney and see what you can do to get sole custody. Having to get a hip replacement at 28, that's awful. I wish you a speedy recovery. Problem number 1, dating an addict. Do yourself a favor and don't do that mistake again. True addict behavior. This is what you'll face for the rest of your life if you try to keep her around. I recently got engaged. I have a large friend group. We've all been close friends starting in high school and all through college, despite going to schools all across the country. We had a group chat where we texted updates and coordinated travel plans to visit each other. One person who was part of this group is named Maggie. After school, Maggie lived abroad for a year on a tourist visa. During her time abroad, she met her husband-to-be. She had to move back to our home country when her visa expired, and she did long distance with her partner. He visited our home country and proposed. They got married in our home country and then moved back to his country, on the other side of the globe. Leading up to their wedding, Maggie shared pictures of her wedding dress and shared details about the venue. As the day drew nearer, my friends and I realized that the majority of the group wasn't invited. Only one friend in the group, Samantha, was invited. Maggie never addressed the lack of invites in the group chat, nor did she talk to any of us individually about it. I normally don't think anyone is entitled to a wedding invite, but it was strange that she sent so many updates and then didn't extend invitations. I guessed that we weren't invited either A, because Maggie didn't consider her to be close enough, or B, there were restrictions related to the venue size or COVID. I don't actually know the reason why though. Many of the other girls in the group took it very personally and were pretty hurt by the situation. Soon after her wedding, Maggie moved abroad with her husband and eventually got a new phone number. We made a second group chat without Maggie because we didn't want to keep texting her old number in case it got assigned to a new random person. We all fell out of touch with Maggie except for Samantha. The second group chat has kept going for 2 years without Maggie. Fast forward to now, a few days after I shared in the second group chat that I had gotten engaged, Samantha added Maggie's foreign number into the chat. Maggie said congratulations to me. I'd already proposed a few dates for a group FaceTime to catch up, so Maggie saw those messages and joined during the FaceTime call. During the FaceTime, Maggie didn't address the fact that she didn't invite us to her wedding. She also made a comment that she felt like she had been shunted off to the side, kind of a veiled comment aimed at not being up to date about our lives after not being in the group chat for so long. After we all hung up, I realized I was kind of disappointed that she was just sweeping everything under the rug. I hadn't exactly planned on reaching out to Maggie, let alone inviting her to my wedding. I now feel awkward talking about the wedding in the group chat with Maggie because it feels rude to talk about a date, a venue, and other wedding activities while not inviting her. Most of the girls seem fine and happy that she's back in the group chat, but I'm feeling very confused. I don't particularly want to confront Maggie about her wedding or the fact that she didn't stay in touch, but I also don't feel comfortable just dancing around it for the upcoming year or so as I plan my wedding. Should I text Maggie individually that she's not invited? It feels very strange and against the usual etiquette to tell someone that they're not invited. However, I think being honest about this aspect is warranted given how she handled her own wedding invitation situation with us. I would have preferred her to be transparent with us, just acknowledging that we weren't invited even if she couldn't provide a real reason. But I'm not sure of the best way to go about this. Ideally, I would let Maggie know in a kind manner, then create a new group chat without her so that I can talk to the girls who are living in our home country about wedding stuff and coordinate a bachelorette trip and such. Any advice is welcome. Update. I did talk to Samantha. I got my questions answered as far as what happened with Maggie's wedding. It was a budget issue, and that as far as adding Maggie to the group chat again, it's not because Maggie is expecting an invite. Going forward, I feel much more comfortable just starting a wedding invitee-only group chat once my partner and I have chosen a date and venue. Samantha had good intentions on all of this. Just to illustrate my line of thinking on this situation, I was asking whether I should tell Maggie because at the time when Maggie got married, I personally would have appreciated a heads up. Therefore, my first thought was that she should get a heads up. She was the first in the group to get married, and I think we were all figuring out proper etiquette and communication about the event as we went along. At the time, I thought the more mature thing to do was not to pry into Maggie's reasoning and just leave it be. Also, regarding the fact that the friendship faded, again at the time, I thought the mature thing to do was to let it fade without confrontation. She appeared to be moving on with her life, staying busy, all that. Yes, I could have been much more proactive in both asking at the time of her wedding and pursuing more frequent communication, but I did the best I could with the information that I had at the time. Hindsight is 20/20. People get weird and emotional around weddings. Now I know. And now for some comments. Last time I checked, you don't have to send out not invited invitations. So no, enjoy your day and remember you can't keep everyone happy, so don't try. Also, a big congratulations and enjoy the day. Personally, I don't think you should bother saying anything to Maggie. The fact that 2 years has gone by with no contact from her, especially since one person in the group knew her new number, plus living abroad, she shouldn't expect an invite. I'd only say something to her if she asks about an invitation. I don't see the point of this. If you already planned to make a new group chat for wedding talk, just do that without the extra step of telling her. Tell your girls that you were excited to talk about the wedding but didn't want to make Maggie feel bad since she's not invited. Telling her would be like rubbing it in her face for no reason. That's why it's accepted etiquette not to do this.
What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you liked this story and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate you spending your valuable time with me. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next Reddit story. In the meantime, please take care of yourself. Bye for now.